The iPhone Air has really surprised me because I didn't think that I would like it this much. And it's actually really frustrating because the battery life sucks. Now, listen to me on this one. So, I use my phone heavily. I use my phone a lot more than probably 99% of most people. So, your battery life is probably going to be okay. My wife, she's been using it since Friday. Like she got it the day it came out, and it's having better battery life than what she was getting with her iPhone 13 Pro Max with 80% battery health. For me, it's much worse than I thought it was going to be. I thought maybe okay, it'll last me till 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and I can top it off, and it'll get me through the day. I'm having to charge this thing twice a day. Now I've been using it as my actual primary phone. And I know that I use my phone a lot more than most people. So this is not something that says, okay, you can't use this phone. It's just frustrating for me because I want to use this phone and I cannot. So, I mean, I've got the iPhone 17 Pro Max. That's what I got to use for my iPhone this year to make videos and to carry around because I carry always an Android phone and always an iPhone. But I think that the people that have been telling you that the battery life is really good on this thing, and I think that people are saying, oh, battery life's fantastic, it's lasting me all day. They either don't use their phone that much or they just are not actually using the phone and saying it has good battery. But the phone itself, this is my most favorite iPhone since the iPhone, probably the SE 2022. I love the iPhone SEs. I made a lot of content about the iPhone SE 2022, and it would actually get me about 5 hours of screen on time. Now, there's a big difference between battery life, like if you don't use it, standby time and things like that. And I always look at screen on time because that's the best way to evaluate how long you can use a phone. Like how long can the screen be on and you can use it. And I have charged this thing from 1 to 100% 8 times in 3.5 days. And I've never experienced anything that bad in my life. So if you have any delusions of using this phone more than maybe like 3 to 4 hours of screen on time a day on one charge, it's just not going to happen. Um, but I love the phone. I love the design. I love the form factor. I love how thin it is. And I had higher expectations because I have the S25 Edge. And I was worried about the S25 Edge whenever I first got it and when they first announced it because I'm like, okay, 3,900 milliamps, that's not going to last that long. But that one actually does last me all day. I can use the S25 Edge from when I get up in the morning. I can use it as normal, and it'll last me until the evening time. And I'm happy with that. That for a 3,900 milliamp battery, there are trade-offs. I know it's a really thin phone. I understand that's fine with me because I'll just top it off in the evening. I have killed the battery in this in 6 hours. And people are like, oh, well, you're a power user, you're a pro user, this phone isn't designed for you. I have never been able to do that with the phone since the Pixel 4. And that was like forever and ever and ever ago, back in the dark ages of like, it had, I think, a 2,800 milliamp battery, which is very similar to this. But yeah, it's really frustrating because I really, really like the phone. I think the design is beautiful. I love how lightweight it is. I love how thin it is. My wife's really enjoying hers. And I'm going to keep this phone. I'm going to keep it. I'm trading in my iPhone 16 Pro Max, which I don't really care about the 16 Pro Max, and I bought the 17 Pro Max. So this will be, I'll just use it like a dessert phone. Maybe on the weekend or maybe whenever I don't have any trips. I could not take this phone on a trip. I could not take this phone anywhere where I have to use it for work or for business because it would not last. So that's kind of the thing. If you are somebody who wakes up at 7 o'clock in the morning and you go to work and you use your phone for like an hour in the morning, it sits on the charger while you're at work. You don't really use your phone a lot during the day because you're busy. You just do some casual texting, you do some scrolling, check in on your social media on lunchtime, and then drive home and just kind of you live close to a charger, then it's going to be good. So probably like 70% of people that normally use a phone will probably have no problems with this phone. If you have any delusions of being any sort of like using it all day long and being on the phone and being on the screen a lot, then it's just not going to work out. But the phone itself is very powerful. It's got the A19 Pro chip in it, even though it has one less GPU. It does get warm. I've had many instances where the phone starts getting warm, playing back video, watching YouTube videos, I haven't even played any games on here. I haven't played Boom Beach on this phone probably in like a day and a half. I don't play any intensive games. I don't export videos. I haven't been using the camera. I've taken a couple snapshots, and I mean, I gotta say, I think that the camera itself is beautiful. Like the camera on here is amazing. I am in love with the camera on here. This new 18 megapixel selfie camera that they put on the new iPhones, it is fantastic. I think it looks great. And then, so the primary camera looks great. The selfie camera looks great. This is the camera upgrade that we've been waiting for a long time. And I'm so glad that with this phone, that they didn't skimp and they didn't put a previous generation camera. They didn't put a cheaper camera in here and give the other phones better cameras. This has the same selfie and primary camera as the Pro Series phones, and it is really good. This has been probably the most impressive camera upgrade I've seen in a phone since the Pixel 9 series phones came out last year. So I'm in love with the cameras on here. It doesn't even bother me that there's no ultra wide or telephoto. I don't use those very often, but I'm okay with the trade-off because I like the form factor. I like how light it is. I like the design. And it's been a really long time since I've cared about using an iPhone. I don't like iPhones that much. I don't really care for Apple all that much. So the last couple of years, it's been like they've just been phoning it in. The same phone, the same phone. Really haven't made any substantial changes. So this one I like. And it reminds me a lot of my iPhone XS Max I had in silver, which had the silver rails and the white back. This is sky blue. You can't really tell that it's blue at all. It just looks white. And I'm fine with that. I think that it's gorgeous. I think it's probably the best looking phone this year. I think that the Moonstone color on the Pixel 10 series, the 10 Pro series, is the best color. But I think this is the best looking phone this year. I love it. And I am all about this whole thin phone craze. And I put a tweet out yesterday saying, I can't wait till a couple of years from now when you can get a phone like this and it really does last all day for everyone. So if you're just a normal person, this phone will probably last fine. And this is like, I don't have any delusions that this phone is made for me. I am a high-end power user, but I am a reviewer. So whenever you review things, you test them out so that way you can tell people who are interested in the phone if it will be something that's good for them. So it's funny to me, you hear people out there like, oh, pro users don't know what this phone is for. Pro users, I don't know. I don't know what the language is, but there's a bunch of people out there saying that, oh, well, tech reviewers got it all wrong with this phone. No, I know who this phone is for, but I'm testing it. I'm testing it for you guys. I didn't buy this phone because I'm like, oh, yeah, this phone is for me. Like I knew whenever they said it had a 3150 milliamp battery that it probably was not going to be for me. So there's no confusion there. It's just, I think some tech reviewers who are closet fanboys or just really don't understand that how to look at something objectively and actually review something. They get so caught up in their feelings. There's a lot of people who wrap their identity around phones and they see something that's negative about it and then they can't control themselves, and it just burns them to the core that somebody would say something negative about an iPhone. If you're a fanboy, that's fine. But if you're a reviewer, you don't have any business reviewing phones. If you're that wrapped up in your feelings. I heard somebody say, because the speaker on this is not good. Now, it's fine for most things, but I'm reviewing the phone, so I'm going to tell you the speaker is not good. The volume is not as loud as it should be. The depth is just not there, and that's a trade-off because you have this tiny little handset speaker inside of here that you listen to when you talk on the phone. That's also the speaker for the phone. There's no speaker on the bottom, only on the top. So when you turn the volume up to max volume or close to max volume, then it does have some distortion. It crackles a little bit, especially whenever it comes to bass, just because it can't handle it. Is that the end of the world? No. But if you tell somebody that, if you shouldn't turn the volume all the way up, if you do, then you need to get your hearing checked. There's something wrong with you. And that's that typical you're holding it wrong mentality. It's not the phone, it's you. There's something wrong with you. When objectively, there's a cheap speaker in here that does distort when you turn the volume up. Or to say, oh, well, it doesn't matter because you can use earphones. Okay, yeah, go buy a $250 set of AirPods Pro and you won't have a problem. So that stuff is just mind-blowing to me. It really is that you could as a reviewer say, oh well, yeah, the problem is you. There's something wrong with your hearing. You shouldn't turn the volume up that loud. That's just asinine. So the speaker, does it get the job done? Yes. Is it great? No. The camera's amazing. Battery life for me is terrible. For you, maybe you'll be okay. And like for my wife is actually even worried about it because she works where she can't use her phone very often. She gets up early in the morning. She drives like an hour to work. And then she's getting home with like maybe 60% battery, but she's using her phone like an hour. So she's going to test it out heavily this weekend and see if it even works for her. And she doesn't use her phone that much. So I'm actually going to make a video, I think, with her next week. She's like, it would be really interesting to make a video together and I can give my perspective as a normal person. And then we can talk about your perspective as somebody who, as a tech reviewer, I use my phone a lot. Like whenever I test out phones, I test them out. Like I've got my SIM card in here. Well, it's an eSIM. There's a SIM embedded in it. But I use these phones heavily because I want to test them out for you. Is the camera good? Is the battery life good? Does it work as it's intended to? How's iOS 26? And actually, it's been so nice with iOS 26 on here compared to my iPhone 16 Pro Max when it was beta, and even whenever it got into the official version. I have not had any bugs. I've not had any issues. I've not had any freezing issues. The screen is responsive. I've not had any screen unresponsive issues. Like one problem I had with iOS 26, especially when I was in the beta, and even once the full version came out, when I would try and send a picture to someone, I would tap on images and it would pop up and it would just be a black window and I couldn't select anything. I would have to close it out. So iOS 26 has been smooth. It's been a really good process on here. The phone experience itself, I've absolutely loved. Like this has been the first iPhone that I have loved using, and I don't know how long. So, resounding criticism from me is very positive. And it's funny because whenever I make a video like this, someone's like, "Oh, he hates iPhone, he hates Apple, he hates this, he hates that. He's an Android fanboy. All he says is bad things." 90% of the stuff I have to say about this phone is very good. The screen is beautiful. It's great. I love the 120 hertz refresh rate. I can't believe they put that in here, especially because of the battery, but they did. It's like this phone feels to me like they basically gave us a Corvette, but then it just has like a 5-gallon gas tank. Is it okay to use for most people if you're just putting around town? Yeah. Is it something that you can use as a daily driver? For a lot of people, yeah, you can. For somebody who uses their phone heavily, no, you cannot. And the frustrating thing is they have the battery bank, but if you buy the battery bank to put it on here, it's the same size battery that's actually in the phone, but then it makes the phone thicker. So it's like, well, if you got to put a battery bank on it to get through the day, you might as well just get the 17 Pro or the Pro Max. It doesn't make a lot of sense to have a thin phone that you just make twice as thick. But the thing is, it's the same size battery as the phone that's in here, the one that's in the phone, but it doesn't give you a full charge because of inefficiencies in battery transfer with wireless charging. You actually, I think, only get like 70% charge. But the thing is, the way the Apple battery pack is supposed to work, you're supposed to basically just put it on there and it supplements your battery kind of all day. It's not oh, my phone's almost dead, let me recharge it. You're supposed to just use it and use it as a battery extension on days when you know you need more battery. So anyway, the phone, I love it. And, I'm sure this is going to get lost in the weeds with people who don't want to hear. There's so many people that don't want to hear when I have to say something about Apple because they just tune it out because they just can't handle if you say anything negative about an iPhone. Like, for instance, I made a tweet yesterday. So there's a flashlight in here. With other iPhones, especially the Pros, you can change the intensity and the focus of the flashlight beam. It's really, really neat. So whenever you pull it up, you can see this, like you can make it stronger or weaker. But if you have a previous series phone or a Pro, you can go left to right and it changes the width or how narrow the beam is to make it more focused. It doesn't work on here. So I put something yesterday saying, oh, well, this kind of sucks with the flashlight. You can't adjust the beam. And somebody jumped all over me like, this is ridiculous. This is absurd. You're just looking for things. I'm like, no, I use the flashlight on my iPhone all the time. That's why I have it set for my action button, right? And it's something I noticed. It's something I'm sharing. So some people, they just can't hear something that's not positive when it comes to iPhones. It just it shakes them to their core, and they can't understand that you would say something critical. It's not a referendum on the phone. I love the phone, and I use the flashlight all the time. I'm just saying, hey, you can't do this. I didn't say, oh my gosh, the iPhone Air sucks. It's a horrible phone because of the stinking flashlight. No, I just said, hey, the flashlight, this sucks that you can't do this anymore. Just sharing that because a lot of people don't realize that. Anyway, so here's the moral of the story. I like the phone. It's beautiful. It's my most favorite iPhone since the iPhone SE 2022. The camera's amazing. The form factor and the design's amazing. There's so much stuff to like about this phone, even though there are compromises. Like, even though there's only one camera instead of 3 or 2, even though there's only one speaker instead of 2, even though it doesn't have a vapor chamber, even though it doesn't have the biggest battery in the world. Like, I think it's an amazing phone, and I really like it. It's frustrating to me that I can't use this as a daily driver when I would like to. Like, I would like this to be the iPhone that I carry around, but it's not going to be able to happen. But anyway, so I've got the 17 Pro Max, which I bought for me because I know I need those things. So this isn't one of those things where I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that this phone is not for me. I'm just testing it and evaluating it. And some people just really don't understand that. But anyway, so phone is good. I love it. My wife loves it. Question mark on how she'll do with the battery life. But anyway, yeah, that's just kind of it. 90% of people will probably have a great experience with this phone, but also you have to look down the road. Yeah, you might get 3 or 4 hours of screen on time out of it, and that might be fine now, but how's it going to be down the road? Because if you have to charge it, and over time, the battery health is going to go down. This is going to be something where maybe in a couple of years you might have to replace the battery sooner than you would with a phone with a much larger battery. So how it's going to hold up over time, that's just going to be something we'll have to evaluate. But lucky for you, I'm keeping it. I'm very happy to get rid of my 16 Pro Max for this. Like, my daily driver that I normally use is an Android phone. So that's got my primary SIM card. The iPhone has my secondary. So yeah, this is something that you'll see more of later on. And I have a lot of hope for the next model, because if we can get in these silicon carbon batteries, or they do something where they put more battery in here, then this for me is the future. I think the screen size is perfect. I like the dimensions are perfect. If this got me all day battery, I would daily drive this sucker in a heartbeat. So anyway, that's all I got. So if you have any questions, comments, gripes, concerns, complaints, all that stuff, please, of course, go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.